What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, and today we are going to be talking none other than a deck profile for the Grandis Kuwagamon. So this deck is going to be quite interesting to talk about, so let's dive into the deck profile and talk about it. So first off, let's talk about the Digitama. We have 4 Yokomon. Yokomon is quite expensive, actually, if you wanted to get the pre-release stamps. But when this Digimon is trashed due to the activation of Digiburst, you instantly get another 2000 DP. The reason for that is we use this for our GrandKuwagamon. So, with Grand, we'll Digiburst this out, gain a little extra more power, and just go in for town. Another card we play is our good friend Gummymon from EX2. This card is when an opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, draw 1. This could help out in the early game, but I feel like having the extra power and then the draw with this deck really is going to be what we want to do. And I think that's the best way of going about it this set. So, let's keep talking about the deck. Next, we are playing for Jamming Palmon. This card is another Digiburster. This card is a promo. This is one of the reasons why the deck is quite expensive right now. And that is because the deck has 2 really hard to get promos at the moment that didn't really get much of a reprint. So when this card is trashed due to the activation of Digiburst, one of your Digimon gets jamming. This is really just to give our Grandis Kuwagamon jamming so that it doesn't have to worry about security checks and all that nasty jazz. So we also are playing for Kokuwamon. So this card is X Antibody version. So when Digivolving, it can Digivolve onto a Kokuwamon. Then on play, when Digivolving, and reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Insectoid or Machine in his traits, and 1 X Antibody among them to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of the deck. So basically, this is searching for the option or insects or machines. So that's kind of the goal for that, and I think pretty solid lineup here. Next, we are playing 2 Terriermons. So the point of Terriermon in this format, especially, is to slow down our opponent with their memory boosters that they're going to try to pop. Everybody's running them to get their most consistent plays, and you can shut them down that way. Next, we are playing 2 Kokuwamon. So this card is really good because there's sometimes you just want to, we have all our champions are 1-cost evolves. So if we're going first and we don't want to give our opponent crazy amount of memory without them passing turn, and we don't have Mimi to hard play right away, we can go into Kokuwamon here and give them 1. That's huge for us. But also for the fact is, while this Digimon is level 6 or higher, it gains security +1. If you can't Digiburst everything out because you have weird numbers and everything like that, you could leave this in and get that extra security check. And it also combos really well with this. So yes, it's a little more pricier to hard play, but once we get into BT10, we replace this with the new Kokuwamon. So that's kind of just how that's going to be for now. And then we do play Pomumon. So this card is all players' turns. Digimon cannot be played by effects. So this shuts down any security Digimon, especially if you are facing heavy Mass Daemon threats. This card is quite useful to achieve that. We are a grand total of 4, 8, 10, 13 rookies. I think that's a very solid number. You could go up to 14, but I think 13 is where you're going to find it shines the most. So that's pretty solid for a lineup. Next, let's talk about the champions. We are only playing a grand total of 9 champions this time around. So first off, we are playing for Weedmon. This card is fun as days because your turn when this Digimon is trashed due to the activation of a Digiburst, gain 1 memory. So as everybody hides and raising and stuff like that, as long as you have a Weedmon, he's even not bad for a 4-cost. We can Digivolve up for that 1 cost if we even have Kokuwamon that we did for the 1 cost. It's just all advantages really well out. So no matter what we end on, we're pretty solid and it doesn't matter. So that's kind of how I'm seeing it. Next, we are playing 2 Kabuterimon blockers. I mean 3 Kabuterimon blockers. So this card, just for that 1-cost evolve, is really good. But being a blocker, sometimes your opponent can't remove the blocker first they can't do that against you, especially against like War Greymon and stuff like that. If you block this first, they're not getting those extra security checks. Sometimes that blocker does help out in the long game. Just something to think about. Just really, really find that important. Next, we are playing 2 MetalKabuterimon. This card is another bridge gap too. So what's really nice about him is you can Digivolve on top of your champions for 1. And then as long as you save 1 for hybrid for game, you can be really solid because you get an extra security check out of the deal. So, I mean, that's kind of what we wanted, right? Solid lineup, I think. If you have any questions, let me know. I think if there's anything you guys disagree with, let me know down in the comments. We are playing 4 of Okuwamon. So this Okuwamon is very important actually to the list. You need 4 of these. You can try to sim around with the other Okuwamon, but I don't think it's that valuable. When your turn, when this Digimon would Digivolve into an Insectoid in traits, all your opponent's Digimon get all turns. When this Digimon becomes suspended, lose 1 memory. So we can gain memory until the end of opponent's next turn. And then while this Digimon has Insect in its traits, it gains Piercing. So what you're going to do is Digiburst everything else out. And if you can start swinging into their stuff, that Piercing is going to be huge. Being able to clear out a body and then that some more is really good in my opinion. Next, we do have Okuwamon X Antibody. This is the version where you want to go on top of this one. It's a 0 cost to evolve on Okuwamon, sorry. I'm still trying to get the name down. I'm sorry. When Digivolving, if you have an Okuwamon, or X Antibody in this Digi-Evolution card, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then, if this Digimon is attacking, you may switch that target to one of your opponent's suspended Digimon. And then when this Digimon would Digivolve into a Digimon with Insectoid in its trace, reduce the Digi-Evolution cost by 1. So, basically what you're going to do is Digivolve into this, to suspend, and all that fun, crazy goodness. And you're gaining extra value and presence. I think this is pretty solid for our ultimate lineup. And let's dive into the 4 and 4 package. We are playing 4 of our GrandKuwagamon. So this card is really important because Digiburst 2, this card gains one of your Digimon gains security plus 1. So being able to Digiburst 2 Digisources and then just go to town is really important. And that's why we're going to play it, because it allows us to OTK. But we also have Grandis Kuwagamon. So this is the new MVP. It Digivolves on top of GrandKuwagamon for 1. But when attacking, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then, if this Digimon is attacking, you may switch that target of 1 attack to one of your opponent's suspended Digimon. Your turn, the Digimon gets plus 4,000 DP. So he's already a 16 when he swings in. And with the Digiburst of Yokomon, this becomes 18. And this should be able to take on, you know, the big bad Alphamon very easily. And then end of attack, if you have GrandKuwagamon or X Antibodies Digi-Evolutions cards, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, unsuspend this Digimon. So this allows us to get to where we need to be. I think this is a very powerful lineup, and we're not going to regret how we play out with this. This is very important, and there are other cards we play. So let's talk about our Tamers today. So first off, we are only playing 4 Mimi. You could definitely tech in like a Tai or a Hero, anything like that if you feel like it. But Mimi is just letting us hatch one of our eggs. If we have like 2 Mimis out, we could, once we promote GrandKuwagamon out, go like double Mimi hatch, and pull out a Digimon, and then we could win game that way. Because we're going to get all the security out. We just need one more Digimon to win the game. And that all it might just take is a rookie to clear out everything. Next, we are playing 4 Green Memory Boost. So, Green Memory Boost lets us basically search out any of the green Digimon we need. Well, top 4 at least. So, hopefully we get the pieces we need, and then it has delay to gain 2 memory. Like I said, Terriermon helps negate this. gaining 2 memory. That helps extend plays, and it just goes the extra mile that they might need. Next, we are playing 2 X Antibody options. You might be wondering, why am I playing 2 X Antibodies if you're not playing Cool Boy? Well, again, great security effect, so it comes to our hand, and then this can be placed under a Digimon without this option in his Digievolution cards at the bottom Digievolutions. And then when attacking, if this Digimon's on, this Digimon can Digivolve into a Digimon card with X Antibodies traits to your hand. So this could get us into Grandis Kuwagamon if we can't find, you know, our good boy, you know, GrandKuwagamon. So that's kind of just how I'm seeing it right now. It's just another way to get us to activate. We now have 5 targets to guarantee, actually 6 targets to guarantee that we get Grandis' effect off. So that's just something we want to do and just make sure we get there. We do play 2 Electro Shocker. Now you might be wondering, what the heck is this card? Well, this is from Starter Deck 4. This is return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to its owner's hand, then trash all Digievolution cards of that Digimon. So let's say you go in and kill out everything, or they've swung in and they only have that big bad Digimon standing left. Well, Electro Shocker can bounce it out of here, and it could buy you the turn you need to come back and win. So that's just something to think about. If you can't always just remove it, if it's just too big or anything like that, you can suspend it with your Grandis and then just electroshock it out of here. And it's also good in security because they're already swinging. And if they don't have a self-restand effect, now you get it off the board, and it's just helpful. And then we do have Grand Fang. So return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon and one of their suspended Tamers to the bottom of their owner's deck. So get that Yuji out of here. Get that Cool Boy out of here. Get that Rested Hero out of here. Stuff like that really does help us in the mile, and that's something we need. Sometimes, if this is hidden security, this is such a powerful plus, it's not even funny. So, one thing about these 3 cards is take these out, and maybe 1 X Antibody, and put in your heroes and a delicate plan, or aka a dedicated plan, that I like to say all the time when I mess up. So, I mean, this is just another quite option variable that you could definitely play. Hopefully you guys explore more of this deck, and Grandis is one of the most powerful decks in this format. It is classified the gatekeeper for a reason. So, guys, without further ado, remember, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace!